To give you an answer to your question of why I like Natsuki in the beginning, I don't know if I actually ever gave like a full-on answer as to why I like Natsuki in the beginning. I think I've given it like every so often, but I never actually had like a place to really say it. I like Natsuki in the beginning because I think when DDLC like first came out and I did all the routes, Natsuki was the first route I went down. So it definitely could have been like route. It could have been like, you know, like order bias. Like it definitely could have been like, oh, she was the one I picked, so you know, she's my favorite, you know. It definitely could have been that.
That's why mine was Yuri at first, because I literally just went down hers first.
I think that's a lot of everybody's. A lot of people's favorites, I think, with DDLC always came from like the first girl you went, like the first girl's route you went down. Like it was like, oh, I went down Yuri's route, so Yuri's my favorite. Oh, I went down Sayori's route, so Sayori's my favorite. You know, like and vice versa. So it kind of gave Monica like kind of I guess a hard time for people to have as their favorite. Usually it ends up being like people who just kind of remember the ending of the game, and then you're like, damn, Monica might be my favorite. But yeah, I think I like Natsuki mostly because I went down a route, but also because it was like, I think I do like Tsundere's probably the most when it comes to the anime tropes, because a lot of my favorite characters do follow the trope. So that definitely could have played a role in it, because I do like how Natsuki, I think I did like Natsuki's like fuck you want attitude compared to Sayori, who is just kind of the, I think I've said this multiple times, I never saw Sayori as a love interest. It's still hard for me to sometimes see her as a as a love interest. So it's like I didn't want to pick Sayori because she was not interested. I was not really interested in her. And then Yuri was, wait, I didn't see, I actually know Yuri was the, I wasn't interested in. Sayori was the, I didn't even see her as an option. Yuri was the, I'm never a big fan of the shy girl archetype. I still am not a big fan of the shy girl archetype. Like, it's just, I don't really, like, I don't hate the shy girls, but usually it's like, you know, you see one, you see them all, I think is the problem. Taiga was my baby for playing DDLC, it just works. Yeah, see, that's where I was like, that makes sense. Yeah, it's like, if you like Taiga, then you'll probably definitely like Natsuki also. It's like, it all makes sense. Wait, Sayori's a love interest? Bro, honestly, I still to this day feel like Sayori's route is like the secret route. Like, I still feel like it is, because, like, the way it's treated, it's like, oh, so you can't even spend the weekend with her, and, like, it feels like the game meant for you to ignore her, and if you don't ignore her, the game's like, hey, you're not doing this right. Like, it always feels like that.
Stop that.
Because you even get, like, a different scene with her leaving, I think, on, like, the third day, because MC would, like, go to show his poem to her first. Like, the game feels like it's breaking if you go with Sayori. The game feels like it's like, hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to do that, buddy.
What are you doing?
You're supposed to go with Natsuki or Yuri. I feel like Natsuki's a better friend to have rather than as a romantic partner. That's fair. I think they all make really good friends, if anything. If that's a consolation for any of them, it's like I think if you don't end up with them, they all make for some pretty good friends. I think, all things considered. My tier list is abnormal. Sayori and Yuri are both tied first, and I can't decide between the two. I just have Monica as the top one, and I don't think any of them have risen to the top anymore. It's like I don't think any of them have ever risen up to Monica's level for me.
Something I never thought I would say is that Sayori is my second favorite.
I already knew that about you. I thought you were gonna tell me like Sayori is your favorite. I was gonna be like, what?
No.
You never told me this. And I was like, oh yeah.
What do you think, I'm fucking crazy?
Yeah, so I was like, well, yeah. Sayori's love interest, Sayori love interest, because I'm sick of the childhood friend getting screwed over. The childhood friend typically is always a route, though, in a lot of visual dating sims, though. The childhood friend is like the trope, like that you typically always end up with. I think if anything, that's probably a big, if I had to guess, I think that's a big push for Sayori fans. I think I always heard is they're always like, I love childhood friend stories and stuff like that, and I'm like, that makes sense. You know, they're like, I'm a sucker for the childhood friend. So yeah, I'm like, that makes sense. The childhood friend doesn't always get screwed over, but they do get screwed over a good bit, though. I'll definitely give you that. There are definitely a good few stories the childhood friend does get screwed over, but they don't get screwed over too many times. Will this be posted to YouTube? Yeah, sure. Why not? I guess it'll be like a
For
weird
people who want to
Zcast.
watch it.
For people who just want to listen to me ramble about DDLC with chat. Oh, this song's gonna be covered.
Listen to the madman talk.
Monica used to be my favorite. That's why I played the game and only knew her from Epiphany from Takeover. Hey, yes, please play. Obviously, you can pick your favorite.
I never considered the amount of people introduced to Monica through Reddit at fucking.
It's not that many. It's very few, I still feel. DDLC is still fairly popular. It's just you'll get like a few.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like Fortnite. You know, it's like there's probably some children who are introduced to Master Chief through Fortnite, but like I don't think Halo is exactly. Well, actually, that might be Microsoft's fault. But I was like, actually, what was the last Halo thing that came out? That might be Microsoft's fault. But it's like there's definitely going to be some, but I feel like it's not even really a problem though, really, because like it's just kind of unavoidable. Because hell, look at Smash Brothers. How many people really knew what an Earthbound was before they saw Ness? Like, you know, it's like not everybody knew Earthbound, you know, so it's like, but then playing Ness and Smash Bros probably made them like, what is this kid from?
My friend told me about Earthbound.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, he's from this game, and then you play the game, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, I kind of like this. So it's like, I feel like, if anything, characters being introduced from things that aren't their main franchises still work out, because people who end up being interested in them will then go and do some, snooping. Especially it's easier considering the internet. Before, you were screwed. Those kids did not know who Martha and Roy were. We never got Roy's game. So it's like, at least with Monica, you can look up DDLC. It's free on Steam. Kids can play it. Fucking those kids didn't even get Roy's game. They didn't know where he was from. It was screwed. So yeah, like it was a fine old time. I think it's fine, like if people introduce that way. I asked this in your Vigilante anime a while back, but I'll ask again. What's an in-depth idea you have yet to see implemented in a mod? I actually really don't know. Like, because I feel like at this point we've kind of already reached. Like at this point, I think any creative idea in a DDLC mod is now like even beyond me even thinking about it being in the game at this point, right? Like it, like I would have to say something like I want to turn it into a first-person shooter. Like I feel like it would have to be like, but then even me saying that, it's like it sounds possible. Like if you can do a point and click, you can technically do a first-person shooter if you really wanted to, probably. But it's.
Probably, but it's very stuffed.
It'd be probably extremely scuffed, but it's like I don't really think I have any ideas, mainly because like people have already done so many to the point where I don't even think there's any real idea that I have left that I'm like I've never seen somebody actually full on implement. Like I feel like we're so past the point of realm of possibility that someone will have to show me something and I'll be like, oh shit, I guess I haven't never seen that before. Never thought about that before. You know, it's one of those things. Just wait till Monica's added to Fortnite. I don't think Monica's getting into Fortnite at all. And I've said this multiple times. I think it is quite...
Absolutely not.
I think it is quite literally because Monica... Like, the indie representation in Fortnite is very minimal. And there are bigger indie games than DDLC that aren't even in Fortnite and represented at all. So it's like, I don't think DDLC has a chance to get into Fortnite. Like, if Shovel Knight even fucking... If Shovel Knight's not even in Fortnite in any capacity, I don't think DDLC has a chance. Because to me, Shovel Knight is like the biggest indie game. Like, that dude's everywhere. You see how many goddamn crossovers Shovel Knight has? Bro was in fucking... It's in, like, mostly indie games, but still. He's in Smash Brothers now, too. That's crazy. I forget he's still in there.
He's like a trophy, right?
He's an assist trophy. He's a full-on assist trophy. He even has spirits, I'm pretty sure, too. He's got a King Knight and, fucking Spectre Knight, I think.
That's gotta feel wild to have your indie game be an assist trophy in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's crazy. This shit goes wild, dude. DDLC FPS just be Left 4 Dead with the Dokis as the survivors. No, it's a DDLC FPS, and it's about Monica having to shoot the girls.
Whoa.
And Counter-Strike.
What the fuck?
Counter-Strike rules. He wins. Okay, I want to know, is Sayori a tomboy? Oh, we're finally having this discussion again. You aren't ready for the answer.
Yeah, she is.
You can't handle the truth.
Why can't people handle the fact that she is?
All right, I think it's now time to fully discuss this. All right, so it's here. We have to sit here. We're to sit here. Is she not? We have to sit here and have this discussion because I personally, I'm not as convinced as I was before, to be honest.
What?
So let us have the talk. Not this again. We're going. We're figuring this out. Yeah, because I think we gotta discuss it. Because I'm with Tanaka here. He's like, I don't know. Yeah, like it's kind of a hard answer to truly answer, I think, because a tomboy has to have interests that aren't particularly girly, right? And Sayori, as far as we're aware, see, here's the main issue with Sayori, and Sayori fans, don't be upset. Don't be mad. I'm just using facts here. Sayori, because of the way she's given to us in the base game, doesn't have much things going on for her. By that,
don't know much about her.
Yeah, and by that I mean we don't really know much about Sayori in the base game, like almost at all. Like we don't even know like her interests. I think we have to assume that she likes to draw because she's drawing at one point in the game. But like for all we know, we don't even. She might just be doodling. Like people who doodle doesn't mean they like to draw. So it's like, you know. So we don't really get to know much about her character, which I think partially comes why Sayori, like, outside of most content, I think it's why Sayori is my third favorite, because there isn't really much about her in the base game. Like, the side stories, you know, God bless the side stories for giving that girl something, because in the base game, it just felt like she was there to guilt trip you and die, but... She was there to die and make you feel bad. So it was like, fucking, thank God for the side stories or giving this girl something. Because, my lord, it felt like she didn't have anything going on for her before. Zero hates Yuri. I don't hate her. I just like Sayori slightly more because I don't like the shy girl. Said this multiple times. I still like Yuri, though.
Damn, he's with a shy girl, too.
I like Yuri in the side stories. It's because I don't like the anime shy girl. You know what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like the anime interpretation of a shy girl. But I like side stories Yuri because I like her because she's super blunt.
Yeah, she's funny.
Side stories Yuri actually might be like third. Because like I might actually be guaranteed third because I like side stories Yuri's a fucking. I love side stories Yuri. Like, I love the fucking, was it that fucking one line where Monica's, like, questioning whether or not they should let Natsuki into the club, and Yuri's just like, she said she wouldn't bother me, so I don't really care. she says something, like, along those lines of, like, not really giving a shit, because Natsuki said she wouldn't bother her. Or, like, the fact where, like, she, like, asked for her opinion on something, and Yuri's just like, her tea is getting cold, and Monica's like, yeah, wait, that doesn't, so wait, that's not relevant right now.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Like, it's just... So, yeah, it's like... So we don't really know... Right, back to Sayori. We don't really know Sayori's interests. So I'm like, her interests... We don't even know if she has interests that aren't girly because... Well, we don't really know what they are. She has plushies. So I was like, yeah, it's like... I guess. Is that an interest? She has one. Well, actually, no, she has two. Like, I can't really say she's a collector. She's got two of them. According to the side story, she's into arts and crafts. We'll take that with a grain of salt. Like, yeah, it's like the side stories ended up giving us a confirmation that she's actually is a little artistic. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. But I wouldn't say it. But see, that doesn't work for her being a tomboy, though. I think the only thing that definitely works with Sayori being a tomboy is that she's not extremely girly, I think, is the thing that goes with the Sayori not being a tomboy type thing. I think is the fact that Sayori isn't exactly the girly type of character. Or at least she doesn't feel that way. Because, you know, like, she has her blazer all wide open. She's constantly bringing up boobs. Like, she's just mentioning boobs with no friggin' with no remorse. Mentioning her boobs, mentioning Yuri's boobs. I remember people tried to use that as evidence for Sayori being a lesbian.
Excuse me.
They were like,
What did you say?
I remember people tried to use that as evidence for Sayori being a lesbian because they were like, she just brings up boobs all the time. And it's like, that just means Sayori's a pervert.
Girls do that.
But no, not that she's a pervert.
Every girl who talks to another girl
I was about to
will
say
just
that.
talk about their boob. That's a normal
I was gonna
thing.
say, she's just one of those girls where she's just very open about breasts.
They will literally just talk about it like it's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was like, I don't think it has anything to do with her. Plus, she can't even be lesbian. They would all have to be at least bisexual, considering that they're interested in the MC. I was like, at most, they'd have to be bisexual. I mean, at least. At most, they'd be bisexual. At least, they'd be heterosexual.
Women tease each other about their breasts because they know that it's a sensitive topic and it is a subconscious thing sometimes. So they tease them about it if they know them like pretty well.
Yeah. Sarah's just a tomboy when she was younger, and now she's just ditzy. That's my take, says Bug. That's a funny take. Absolutely none of the girls are tomboys. Honestly, Natsuki and chat kind of right. I don't think any of them are really tomboys because...
Not even Natsuki?
No, because I was just about to say, because that's the thing. Natsuki loves girly things.
I guess she does.
I was gonna say, if anything, Natsuki might be the most girly one in the entire club. Because she likes cute things. She likes cute things. She wears pink all the time. She's probably the most girly one out of them all. It's just, she acts tough so that people don't make fun of her. Like, that's her whole point. She likes girly things, but she tries to hide it. Yeah, Natsuki's like the most girliest one. By the tomboy tier list, how much each of them, by the girliness tier list, how much each of them are girly. If we had to put in like a little list, probably like Natsuki's probably like the girliest one, with like Monica second, Sayori third, and maybe Yuri fourth. It's like Yuri likes knives, and that's pretty cool. I would say Sayori's probably more girly than Yuri.
Yuri likes knives, and that's pretty cool.
Yuri's an old man. Yuri's grandma. So
Yuri kind of is grandma.
Yeah, Yuri's grandma. So Yuri is probably the least girly out of all four of them. But that doesn't mean Yuri's butch by any means either. Like, just to clarify, saying Yuri is the least girliest out of them doesn't mean anything. I still think Yuri would shriek if she saw a spider.
Yeah.
Like the Yuri being the least girly doesn't mean much, but... Does Monica count as a yandere? I am curious. That is a good question. I have always believed Monica is not a yandere, and the main reason for this is because Monica gives up once she realizes what she's doing is hurting you. This is something yanderes don't do. Yanderes typically
emotionless.
They're typically emotionless and selfish, and they know they're selfish. They don't care about the feelings of the person they're going after. Once Monica is made aware that what she is doing is harming you and that you don't want what she's doing, she stops and thinks about your happiness. This actually does mean that Monica is not a yandere because she gives up. Act 2 Yuri, on the other hand, would be defined as yandere because notice how she does not give a shit about how you feel.
She doesn't care about how you or others around her feel.
Yeah, like she is just sitting there constantly being weird with you.
And she will go out of her way to make the competition less.
Now, does this make Yuri a yandere? No, this makes Act 2 Yuri a yandere because her obsession got messed with. This does not make Yuri herself a yandere because that's not really Yuri. That's mentally taken advantage of Yuri. That's edited
decrepit.
Yuri. Yeah, mentally decrepit. What does that mean?
Mentally decrepit.
Mentally decrepit.
She's gone.
Mentally decrepit. Act 2 Yuri's just shadow Yuri. Well, no, because a shadow is the true self. And I wouldn't say Act 2 Yuri's the true self. That's like the opposite of Yuri, because that's not what Yuri truly is.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wouldn't say it's that. Yuri has the mannerisms of your 70-year-old granny. She has a nice rocking chair and a quilted blanket. You know Yuri knits them things. You know Yuri's knitting sweaters. You know she's sitting there.
You know, she learned how to crochet.
Yeah, you know Yuri's fucking knitting sweaters for them, bro. You know she's sitting there in her little rocking chair knitting sweaters. Yeah, Yuri's a Dandere. Yeah, actual Yuri is a Dandere, while Act 2 Yuri is a Yandere. But distorted desires and stuff. Well, distorted desires is the example of a shadow in Persona 5. Yuri's distorted desire in Act 2 isn't a real desire. Like, it's not really what she wants.
It's not actually what she wants.
Because she's more brainwashed there. Yeah, the shadow won't form in someone who doesn't come from something they truly want.
If anything,
she's more so being controlled in Act 2.
If anything, her shadow would be like, what the fuck? What's going on?
Yeah, that's where I was like, it's a distorted desire, which she does have one at that moment, but she's being brainwashed, and I don't think a shadow would show up for that.
Yeah.
Yuri crochets, not knits. She's a hipster. Monica excuses them not being real is funny, considering she's seen them go off script, only possible for a game character. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with that is mainly just due to the fact that Monica wasn't really thinking at that time. I think is basically what is always said. I think it was also she didn't know what the game was capable of fully, so she didn't know if the game was capable of adjusting them off script.
She assumes that because she knows she's in a video game, it makes her real, and the other girls don't know that.
Yeah, it's like even if they go off script and such, to her that doesn't really matter because she's just like, oh, I guess it's just the game's just that advanced, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, Monica said untied the knot, so maybe Yuri's like that. Well, to be fair, Monica's being very facetious in that poem when she says, like, look at all the things they were hiding from you, you know, and stuff like that. She's being very, like, she's being very facetious with the way she's talking there. She's definitely trying to make it seem like this is how, because she even says in that poem, this is how they actually are, when they're not. And she's like, all I did was untie the knot.
Her entire idea is that she's attempting to persuade you into thinking that they are what they are not, so that you only go for her.
She's trying to make them look unsightly, that you don't want to be with them. So yeah, it's like that's why she makes Natsuki all glitch out. She's like, look at her, she doesn't get food, she turns into this. I was like, what the fuck?
She doesn't get food, she turns into a monster.
Spooky. I think someone asked me an actual question. Hold up. Who's your least favorite Doki currently? The bottom of your list seems to shuffle quite a bit. All right. It does. It shuffles quite a bit with Natsuki and Monica just watching Yuri and Sayori battle from the upper echelons.
For me, it's Yuri and Natsuki, like at the bottom battling.
I was to say Monica and Natsuki with binoculars at my list, just watching, just like, oh, they're fighting again.
They're fighting again. I wonder who will come on top this time.
Yeah, with just popcorn, because I'm trying to sit here and figure out who I like more. So this answer for me was super easy before the side stories, because I was like, I like Sayori a little bit more than Yuri, even though Sayori doesn't really have much going for her in the base game. But I was like, you know, I like her enough more, and I'm not too much of a fan of base game Yuri. Then the side stories came out, and then I was like, oh, fuck, man, Yuri's cool in this.
Yuri's cool.
I was like, I love, because, like, I think, like, half the reasons I laughed in the side stories was, like, Yuri's fucking lines. Like, Yuri's lines in the side stories are amazing. I love the fucking shit that Yuri says. And Sayori also gets some character. And I'm like, oh man, I like Sayori now too. I'm like, she actually has like a little bit of a character to her. Cause she even says some funny stuff also. Like, I think
likes strawberry ice cream, or was it mint chip? I don't remember what she said.
She likes strawberry.
Okay.
She likes strawberry, but yeah, because that's the funny one. I think that's the funny line too, where Monica's saying that she doesn't like strawberry. So he's like, what? It's like, how dare you? Just as an example. I like the one, also the one I was gonna talk about was the one where she's talking to Yuri, And I think she's like, do you not like me, Yuri? It's like, do you care about me, Yuri, or something? She like says something to get Yuri to say like, no, I like you. And she's like, I know, I was just fishing for a compliment. She's like, I know, I was just fishing for a compliment. So I'm like, that's cute. But it's like, yeah, it's like the side story showed up and I was like, ah, fuck. Because I was like, they're pretty good there. I don't know. It is a hard battle. They might be tied, honestly. Like, they might be drawed, Yuri and Sayori. It really might be a draw with them. Like, it's really hard for me to figure out, I think, which one I like more now. Because I think it really is like a draw. Because I feel like Sayori's definitely being carried by the side stories. And Yuri is also kind of being carried by the side stories. I really don't care much for base game Yuri too much. So... I don't know. I think for me, Sayori and Yuri are tied for third, with Natsuki being second and Monica obviously first. You think Natsuki's a manga purist? I think Natsuki, considering she reads Parfait Girls, and that sounds like an extremely moe manga according to MC, I don't think she's a purist. Natsuki likes a lot of just like regular popular stuff, I think. Like Natsuki likes Sailor Moon. She likes fucking... She likes Toradora. Natsuki likes a lot of the regular shows that, like, I think females would probably enjoy. I think she might like some boy stuff, though, too. Natsuki probably likes some shonens. Natsuki's one of those people where I think... she likes
Madoka.
She likes shonen, but she'll, like, regurgitate the same argument that, like, some random person says on the internet. But she'll still like it. Like, she'll be like, Dragon Ball's such a starter anime. But then she'll still like Dragon Ball. She still loves Dragon Ball.
Oh, Dragon Ball? Yeah. How original. And then she, like, goes back
yeah, how original. But then she'll still fucking be like, did you guys see the new movie?
Oh my god.
Natsuki hates GT, though, because she's right.
Little do you know, she actually hates Super, too.
No! Natsuki, you fuck!
You sounded like Girdle from,
No! That sounded like Snake. He's always like, no! Girdle!
Oh yeah, whoever does that.
Yeah.
I don't actually remember who it was, yeah.
Dragon Ball is cool. Well, at least our Natsuki likes Dragon Ball. Actually, no, if anything, our Natsuki probably would like Dragon Ball, the original, but then, like, she's like, I don't know if I like Z, though. Dragon Ball was better. Like, she would pretend to be a purist. She's gonna try to be a manga purist. She'd be like, Dragon Ball was better. It was more consistent. But then she'll love Z secretly. That's the whole thing with Natsuki, I think, is that she's all secret time. So secrecy. Natsuki's definitely a My Hero fan. She might like My Hero. I'm sure they're doing extra things. Oh, Gizzy returned to Twitter. Oh, that's nice. Good for him.
Oh, yay.
I think, hopefully, I'm still following him. I don't know if he made a new account or anything. You think Natsuki likes anime games? She probably does. We only know that she, considering the side stories, because I remember, like, before, right? We only knew she liked manga. So a lot of our, like, implications about how much of a goon and like goon gremlin Natsuki is about fucking, let me say gremlin because goon has been ruined.
Yeah, I was gonna say you calling her
as much of like an anime gremlin than Natsuki is. We never really remembered how much because we were just like, all right, she just reads manga. We don't know how far it went. So I was always like, Dan, how far does this go? Like, how far? Because for all we know, Natsuki could just like manga and that's it. And not really think too much of it. For all we know, Natsuki doesn't even watch anime, right? And then the side stories were like, yeah, I used to make fan fiction back in the day. And it was like, oh, Natsuki's that far? Ooh. It was like, Natsuki's that far? Okay. Natsuki plays anime games. Natsuki fucking... I think there's even a joke about her having like a secret manga in the club because Sayori's like, what's this? She's like, Sayori, don't grab that. So I'm like, Natsuki.
Has like weird porno in the club room.
I was like, Natsuki, what are you bringing? Natsuki, no.
Maybe that's why her dad would kill her. Maybe it's not because it's manga.
No, I like to think it wasn't any like hardcore like hentai. I like to think Natsuki had like some soft core stuff just in the closet. I think it was just a manga that like happens to
It's
have
just the
some.
themes.
It's like Rent a Girlfriend levels of like.
Oh, look at that. That's embarrassing.
Like I don't think she's having like full on hentai. I'm thinking she just
No.
has like some manga that's just kind of risky.
You think Natsuki ever said don't touch my garbage to the girls about her anime and manga?
Don't touch my garbage. No, she would never refer to her manga as garbage. She loves her manga. Even the ones that Natsuki's the type of person to get the manga that probably like to get the she'll get the series and she'll think the series sucks, but she'll still get like every volume.
He's like, I still have to collect it. I don't know what you
I
want.
still gotta get it. Chat, be real. Did any of you write fan fictions? I never wrote a fan fiction. I didn't have the focus to do that shit.
I never posted fan fiction.
I say that now when I write technically something that is
You technically
basically a
do.
fan fiction. Yeah, it's like, huh. Thank you for the $1, the DJ. I appreciate it. Also, I'm sorry if
Yeah,
like
but
I
I
missed
never
some of your questions. If
posted
you
it.
guys like give me questions or anything, the chat is moving at a decent speed, and I'm also trying to talk. So, if I missed some of your questions or anything, I apologize. Dragon Ball is a good starter. It is a good starter. That was me saying like it's just some people have a very negative thing on Dragon Ball because of it being a starter. They'll be like, "Oh, it's a basic
Hey
anime."
Zero,
and, like,
it's
have
been
no
a
respect
while.
For it, I
Hope
think.
all is good. Natsuki is the type
It's really
of
weird
person
that
to
people
write a
think-
fan fiction but weirdly descriptive.
To write a fan fiction but weirdly descriptive. Natsuki's very detailed with her fan fiction. That's funny. Always stay out of line. Thank you, Knuckles. I wrote a fan fiction. I wish I could go back in time and smack past me with a mallet. Don't be upset at yourself when you're
It
making
contributes
fan
to your
fiction.
creative vision.
Yeah, that's where I was like, making anything back in the day is always a little.
Even if it was questionable.
Even if you look back and you cringe at it, it shows that it's something that definitely sparked your creative mind.
It's
Yeah,
like finding old art. Like when
Yeah.
when I look through my drawers and I open my book and I see art that I drew when I was 8 years old, I was like, oh, okay.
It was a Sonic and Halo crossover, and I hated it. Hey, that sounds cool. But I can't believe Sonic meets Master Chief.
That's incredible.
Man, that could have been in Smash Brothers.
have.
I don't know if it was asked, but what do you think about the general state of mods and how the community handles them? Expectations, quality, too critical, etc. I think their state of mods is pretty okay. Mods are still coming out. People are still doing crazy stuff. The majority of it. I was like, mods are still coming out. The quality has definitely improved a lot. Like, it's definitely like, I feel like it's rare now to see like the regular DDLC title screen. Like, I think that's what
Yeah.
like threw me for a loop when I played Good Ending, where I was like, oh my god, it's the regular title screen. Like,
Oh my god. They didn't touch this.
with nothing changed. Yeah, it's like every time you play one, it's like it's like if it's the regular title screen, something's gonna be changed. Like they'll remove the other girls or something. And it's like I don't even have a problem if mods don't do this. I feel like the title screen is such an extra thing that I don't really care. It's just obviously, people have messed with this game so many times that they're like, okay, well, if I'm gonna mess with even more stuff, I'm not keeping this title screen the same.
Yeah.
But obviously I don't think I have any opinion of it, but I guess I could leave that into people being critical. Definitely I've noticed that people have seemed to get a little more critical over the days and years of the DDLC mods. I remember back in the day it was mostly just people, I think mostly people didn't really care too much about shit that came out. It was just kind of like, oh hey, cool, another thing to play. Another DDLC mod. I think nowadays, I'm assuming it probably comes from the fact that there's so many of these now. So people are they're typically now they have a taste of what they like and what they don't like, and
Yeah.
I think the only level I think is where it gets bad is that people definitely do feel a little too, I guess, entitled by their opinions, like to the point where they'll go around and like someone will be like, hey man, hey guys, I like heard about this mod, like I'm gonna play it or something, and then people will be like, don't play that mod's
No.
bad.
Don't play
Like,
that.
just
It's
like,
bad.
Like it's just like, dude, let them fucking play the free thing. Like it's like it's not gonna cost them to
I
play
can't
it.
believe that somebody created this. It's free.
It's like, let the guy play the free thing. It's like, for all we know, that guy might like it.
This was made by like 2 people.
This was made by a dude just like vibing. He just decided to write.
Yeah.
So I was like, just let it. It's like now if someone asks for an opinion and says like, hey, should I play this? Then it's like, yeah, and sure, you can give your opinion. But even when I think people ask me that, I still say.
But even then, you still say.
Yeah, but say, I still typically say like, just play it for yourself and see if you like it. I, mean, I don't know. I was like, you might like it, and I might not. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, it's like you're not losing anything, I think, out of it because, I mean, these are free. Like, unlike actual video games where you have to pay money to play it, like, you're throwing down, like, about, what, $60 to $70 nowadays for a video game? So, you're really trying to look for a review or, like, an opinion from somebody because you're like, hey, man, is this game good? Because I'm not trying to pay $70.
I'm not trying to buy this and then not be good.
Yeah, so it's like with a mod, I mean, this thing's free. You can literally just stop if you don't like it. There's a little settings button.
You can stop and delete it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying you can just go about your day. Like no one's like sitting there with a gun telling you to play all of it.
You could be like, well, it's a waste of my time, and it's like you had time to invest in playing this to begin with.
Yeah,
I don't think you have much.
I was about to say, if you're downloading DDLC mods, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think your time is that valuable anyway. You're sitting here downloading DDLC mods. Your time isn't as valuable to begin with, so I don't really think it matters all too much if you wasted your time.
Oh no, I wasted my time.
I was like, you're looking for mods for a video game. It's not like, what were you gonna do in that 5 minutes? You're gonna go to the soup kitchen? Gonna go help out charity? Like, what were you gonna do in those minutes?
What were you gonna do?
Band of music. Have you played Little Literature Club? If it's not on the channel, I haven't played it.
Okay.
I'm a fake fan. I only play DDLC mods on the channel. Well, actually, it's also because I feel like people would be upset if I didn't. I feel like if I was like, yeah, guys, I already played that off screen. And people are like, well, huh?
What?
So like, we didn't see it.
Without your reactions.
Yeah, but to say, like, at this point, I don't think I'm allowed to play things off screen.
You're really not.
I was like, it's like, I'm not allowed to. If World of Dreams Act 2 came out years ago, maybe it'd be received well. Yeah, probably, because back in the day, like I said, people didn't really care too much. Like, as they do nowadays. Nowadays, people are like treating these as, like, actual, like, official books from, like, actual authors, when really they're made by, like, Jimmy in his spare time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, and he's not even aspiring to be an author. He's, like, inspiring to be, like, a fucking veterinarian.
He wants one guy to invest an hour and a half in a story and say, yeah, it was okay.
It's like this is Jimmy the wannabe veterinarian who's just made something because he really
in university right now.
He really liked DDLC and wanted a hobby.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, your hobby.
He's actually training to become a surgeon. Doki Doki Surgeon Club.
That's the mod he made. There's like a guy like fact checking like his surgeon facts. Actually, Jimmy, actual surgeons wouldn't do this.
And then the surgeon community crops up and starts going, actually.
The surgeon community? How the fuck would who alerted the entire surgeon community about his mod?
They start posting the nerd emoji and start going, actually, this is wrong.
I cannot believe the entire surgeon community has appeared.
The surgeon community has appeared.
Jimmy, what have you done?
Jimmy, you need to get off the internet now.
You have somehow disrupted the entire surgeon community. Trying to make a mod with the original title screen and lots of Act 1 dialogues. We remember where we came from. Yeah. That's right, Diablo. We gotta show them our roots. Gotta go back to our roots, where you were forced to play through all of Act 1 through 3 because the mod didn't know how to make it start.
Respect to where we came from.
The mod didn't know how to make it start from the beginning, so they were like, please have a completed save file. So you're like, oh shit, hold on, let me skip through all the game real quick. Oh, the mod's starting.
And then if you installed another mod, it would have the save files of the other mod that you
They still have that. Some people still make that mistake.
Some people do still code like that, but it's not.
You're like, oh no.
It's funny.
Again, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, people can do whatever the hell they want to when it comes to stuff. But me personally, I think that's just. I feel like if you start being too critical when it comes to these fan projects and stuff, I think you yourself will start to lose personal enjoyment, I think, out of it. And you'll start to feel more like, I think, like, if you start coming at it with more of a cynical mindset and you start just being more cynical about everything you play, I think you start to, you know, not really even enjoy it anymore. And then you start not wanting to play it. It's like, because my mindset always, I just kind of go in and play whatever. If it interests me, then I go in and see it, and then, you know. That's why typically if I have a problem with something, I typically try to make sure I explain myself and try to actually explain my issue. I also try to make sure I'm not just coming off being like, this is some garbage!
It sucks.
Like, okay, this is some trash! How dare you, Jimmy! I need to stop saying Jimmy. There is a Jimmy out there who is just
crying.
like... It's like, Zero, leave me alone!
Stop it!
Like, fucking,
I'm in certain school right now!
Man, when are we gonna get a mod where Sayori comes and
this
tells
guy
she's
leave
a
me
helicopter
alone.
to the club? Kappa.
Yeah, I typically just try to play them just to enjoy myself. And even mods, I end up not even having, like, the biggest, like, you know, I'd end up not even loving. I still end up enjoying myself. Like, just because, or even then, I still feel like every mod I've even played, even the ones that I don't really like, I still recommend to people, even if I don't really like it, because, like I said, they might enjoy it, and I can definitely tell a lot of hard work even went into it. So, it's like, I don't want to sit here and be like, you shouldn't play this because I don't like it. It's like, nah, you should play it. See if you like it. And if you don't like, and if you like it and you say, hey, Zero, you were wrong about this mod, then I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Like, then we can discuss.
Cool.
And, you know, you can say that, you know, you liked it, I didn't. And, you know, isn't that even, we can have a nice little discussion about it. It's like how nowadays, how I think, like, exit music is viewed as, like, this super controversial mod, and it is controversial because people have very differing opinions on it, but I always tell people they need to play it. Granted, I'd never tell people to not play a mod, but like, I always say people should definitely play exit music if they're new to the community, because I feel like it is one of the most well-known mods.
It's a good example. It's a good example of remember where we came from.
Yeah, it's like, it's one of the most well-known mods. Like, even if I tell people to even play it, even if I don't think they'll enjoy it, because I'm like, I think you should still know about it. You should still know this mod, so you can actually fully embrace the community and fully understand the community. Because it's like, exit music is like, and plus, like I said, some people still like it. So it's like, for all you know, you could be recommending exit music, and that could be someone's new favorite. They'll be like, oh, I love that one. They're like, got me crying, and got me crying, bro.
Got me crying. I mean, it got me crying too when I played it at first.
People could be sitting there being like, that shit got me crying on the streets. I'll be like, it's okay, Jim. He's like, oh. You know? Oh, yeah, so thank you for the $1 donation, DJ. Man, when are we gonna get a mod where Sayori comes and tells them she's a helicopter to the club? Why would Sayori become a helicopter? That's dangerous.
How did that happen?
Is she Morgana?
She turns into the Petacopter.
Oh, not the Petacopter. I will always love it. Hey, sometimes there's things that, and that's the other thing too. I think loving something you know has flaws is also another thing I feel sometimes the community may not understand. Is, yeah, it's like, just because a certain thing has flaws, it's like, you can still like it. You can still love something while acknowledging its flaws. And some of my favorite games, I know the flaws of. Like, Sonic Adventure 2 is one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. I hate Mad Space with a passion in that game.
I love Mario Sunshine, but the pachinko machine, I'll kill myself.
Yeah, I was like, I'll kill myself. Like, I know all the flaws with that game. The audio mixing in the cutscenes is terrible. You can't hear some of the characters. The music's too loud. It's like you're watching one of my videos. Like, it's hard to even understand what's going on sometimes. Like, the audio mixing's garbage. The mech levels could be a little better. But I love that game. It's like I can't bring myself to say I hate it because the highs for that and the things I love about it is just I can't say I don't love it. I love that game. It means a lot to me. It's a wonderful game. So it's like, yeah, it's just just because you acknowledge that something has flaws doesn't mean you have to be like, well, I can't like this thing now. It has problems. Because it's like, well, everything has problems. I actually enjoyed Scarlet and Violet, but the glitches pissed me off. Yeah, see?
The only thing that I don't like about the game is the performance. I just want to play. I would fucking adore that game so much if I could play it at a normal frame rate.
Yeah, some might condemn you for liking certain mobs because the elitists say otherwise. It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think that just goes to the internet culture just nowadays, because that's just the culture of the way the internet and everything functions in general, is that typically if people like things that aren't as popular, you know, or it's like, oh, everybody doesn't like that thing. So if you say, hey, man, I like Bubsy 3D, everyone's like, what's wrong with you? I'm one of the people asking.
Yeah, me too.
Bubsy 3D is a hard game to like.
What's wrong with you?
I definitely went a little too far. Oh, God.
You are a criminal.
Bubsy 3D is killing me. What could possibly go wrong?
Bubsy being like, say it again. Say it again.
Bubsy 3D. But I will say this. I'm always interested when people say they like certain things like that, though, because I want to hear why they like that thing. Because I always find it more interesting to hear someone explain to me why they like something than someone explaining to me why they don't like something. And this isn't because, like, you know, I don't like critiques or anything. I think critiques are fine, you know, and everything. Like, I think it's still fine to listen to someone not like something. It's just sometimes when it comes to hearing someone not like something, you can definitely tell when they're just kind of like ranting or just kind of going on, and you're like, yeah, whatever. But when someone talks about liking something, there's just like a passion in what they're talking. You can tell like what they're talking about. They're really passionate about it. So like they're really happy, and they're really just fucking like going into details to why they like something. And I don't know, it's nicer. Like, to be honest, I'd rather hear somebody tell me why they love Fruits of the Literature Club than, like, me tell me why I don't like fruits.
Me tell myself why I hate it.
Yeah, it's like, I'd rather listen to why somebody likes fruits, because I feel like they'd sound way more interested and enthused about it than me, who isn't a big fan. Because I feel like they'd sound way more interesting and be way more fun to talk to. I just hate vegetables. How dare you? I remember hating Amori's ending, and it made me feel like I was a dumbass for not feeling what they did. Yeah, the internet does that a lot. If you have an opinion that's different from the internet,
Grr, you're stupid. You're stupid. I hate you.
Suddenly it's a problem. It's the internet. You like any Bubsy game, you might need a kick to the nuts. But what could possibly go wrong? Hey, you hear that joke he has about the flying, where he's all like, pilot license? What for?
No,
you know, classic.
No.
Bavatica, he's all like, pilot license? What for?
No.
Oh, classic
No.
Bubsy.
No.
Are we playing Bubsy on the channel?
No. I'd rather play Gex.
Hail time.
Yeah.
Gex.
Unironically, I'd probably actually love that game.
Gex is good.
Who told you that?
Me.
Did Gex tell you that?
Alright. I know we're talking about video game stuff here, but I also don't want to stray too far from DDLC. So I will try to bring back the DDLC. But yeah, we're talking about like people. I don't know, yeah, people can be elitist and stuff, how they view things and whatever. It doesn't really matter to me personally. I feel like it's gonna wear them down, and they're gonna eventually realize what they're doing is kind of silly, I think, in the grand scheme of things. But, you know, I'm just gonna continue doing things how I do things, where I'm just gonna play things and enjoy them for what they are. Not be super critical, because this is made probably by one guy, 1 to 2 guys. Even if it's made by a team, it's a team of amateur writers. like, what am I gonna do? The other thing is, I'm also never gonna be too hard, because who the fuck am I? Like, I think that was.
You're the Jimmy.
I think that's the other reason why I think I'm never too hard on things is because I'm like, who the fuck am I? Like, I'm just a guy. like, who am I to tell them that what they're doing is bad or wrong? Like,
Okay,
I'm just
random person.
I'm just a dude. like,
I've never seen or met before.
okay, random guy who'd never talked to me before. Yeah.
And will want to talk to me now just because I have an opinion that he doesn't like.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck am I to judge what their thing is good or not? Yeah, it's like, I just say what I feel and leave it at that. Try not to be an asshole. If you could improve one thing about DDLC YouTube, what would it be? Let's make more videos that don't revolve around horniness. Come on, fellas. Come on. We can do it. Come on. Come on,
No
man.
horny.
I know the state of YouTube is like, we feed into the horny, we get the views. But come on, fellas. We can do it. Come on. You can make a funny video that doesn't have anything to do with, like, doesn't have any horniness about it, Like, I believe in this. Are we asking for too much? I don't know. You're still asking like the wrong guy because I don't actually follow the state of DDLC YouTube. I just go off what people tell me. For all I know, I could be totally wrong, and maybe it's not horny, but...
Cyril, what are you talking about? There's no horny stuff.
Some of the videos I've seen, like, in passing and, like, titles people have shown me, I've been like, oh. Oh, no.
Someone's gonna come in here who has seen the Monica's pregnant video, but, like, didn't watch it, and was like, what do you mean, Zero? You literally know what it
Oh, Mr. Monica's pregnant himself!
Oh, what do you know?
Well, Mr. Monica's pregnant over here talking.
Get a load of this guy.
Get a load of this guy. That video is like my magnum opus. I love that video
It's
so
so
much.
stupid.
I feel like I'm waiting for the day when like Monica's pregnant. Monica's pregnant's like that being my top video is still hilarious to me.
I think it'll always be your top video.
It always will be. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Glad.
Natsuki is pregnant, ring a bell. That one was funny. I liked that one. That was a good sequel. I think my favorite part of the Natsuki's pregnant video is the comments, like, replying to Monica, judging them for clicking on it. Like, people in the comments are, like, defending themselves. Like, they're like, oh, man, I just clicked it because it was an interesting title. Like, it's, like, really funny to read the comments, and there's, like, people, like, defending themselves. Like, whoa, Monica, calm down. I was just interested in what it could be there. Like, it's amazing. Zero, why is Monica pregnant? What did you do? I did nothing. I mean, there's also people who are critical because it comes to a place of love. They're critics who want to see work succeed because they see the potential. I don't think it's black and white like that. Of course it isn't. Like, there are definitely people who are critical because they definitely do want to, like, assist and help out. But I think very similar to what Monica says in the DDLC side stories, how you convey your opinion is very important. It's actually hilarious because this is, I think, a lesson a lot of people miss, and it's literally in one of our games. Like, it's literally, I think, it's literally a lesson in one of our games. Like, DDLC Plus, it's a conversation Monica has when she's talking about the ice cream thing. And she mentions how the way you convey your opinion matters a lot. Because sometimes if you go really hard on what you're trying to say, a lot of the times people aren't really going to listen to you because, you're just kind of coming off as an asshole. And people are like, I don't want to listen to this guy. But if you actually explain yourself and you use, you come from a place of, actually, it sounds like you're actually coming from a place of wanting to assist them and not just, being a dickhead, they'll actually be more willing to listen to you and your advice. It's like how you convey your opinion matters greatly, than even almost more so than the opinion itself. It's like, it's very important. It was the cherry thing, right? Yeah, it was the cherry ice cream she mentions. The thing with the cherry ice cream where, like, yeah, she, like, tells Sayori, like, that she hates cherry ice cream, that it's terrible. And then she's like, what? Huh? And then she explains that cherry isn't really her favorite as, like, I think, like, a turn. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing her. And then Sayori's like, oh. I swear it's because people don't read and make bad takes without reading. Well, that is also an internet problem. The internet is also filled with people who just make, like, takes about things without being fully informed, and then they just kind of look like a silly. You just kind of look like a silly. There's a lot of questions. I think I saw one that was interesting. Hold up. There is... Think of DDLC Plus, what do you think in terms of the content, the story, and the plot that was added, the metaverse? I think it's okay, but I think it's inconsequential. I saw a lot of people like be very upset about the metaverse stuff that was added because they were like, oh, it's stupid and stuff. And it's like, yeah, if you don't like it, that's fine. The reason why I say it's inconsequential is because Dan himself literally said it was inconsequential. Like, Dan and Mythos literally said, like, if you want to ignore the DDLC Plus lore, you can. And hell, even half the lore is barely lore. Like, most of it is very open-ended with, like, characters saying things like, well, it could be this, or it could be this, or it could be this. They, like, give you, like, 3 answers, like it's a choose-your-own-adventure book. So like, it's very much inconsequential. I think the only part of the lore that I think is really interesting is the whole, like, virtual machine thing and the confirmation that we have that the characters are actually living in a world that is just as big as ours, which I feel like is kind of interesting. I do think that's a interesting part of the lore. I like that. It's cute. Nice little thing that I took from it. Back on topic, what nicknames do you give the girls, if any? I think I just kind of use the ones, most people use. You know, like Monica's, Moni, Natsuki. I've heard Natsuki's a funny one because mainly because of her name. So Natsuki's is, so I think the appropriate way, quotations appropriate, because Natsuki's weird. So Natsuki, the appropriate way to say her name in Japanese would be Natsuki. Obviously, that would be what it'd be. However, the appropriate way to say Natsuki's name in English, I'm pretty sure, would be Natsuki. Not Natsuki. It would be Natsuki. Like, you know, like all in one little thing. If you played Persona 3, the way they say her name, Natsuki, that's actually how you're supposed to say. I think in Reload they say Natsuki though, which is funny. But I think in Reload they say Natsuki, but I think in base Persona 3 I remember them saying Natsuki. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Natsuki. So a lot of people go with Not to be her nickname, which I think works for both pronunciations of her name. Not definitely does work, but there is also Suki, which only works if you pronounce her name like Natsuki. Because if you don't pronounce her name like Natsuki, then Suki doesn't make sense as a nickname. Because, you know, unless you call her Ski, you don't have to call her Ski. Hey, Ski. You know? So yeah, it's like you have to call her Natsuki in order for Suki to work as a nickname. So I think that's why most people just use Not, which, I mean, Not, or I think Nat. I think I've heard some people say. And then Nat is funny because it's like, is her name Natsuki?
When you say Nat, it sounds like you're calling her a bug.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm like, I heard people call her Nat, and I'm like, so you pronounce her name Natsuki? Ah, it's Natsuki. So yeah, it's like, Not, I think Not is probably the best way. And even Not sounds kind of silly, but it's, I don't know. I never felt like Natsuki needs a nickname because, well, her name's like it's 2 syllables. It's Natsuki. Like, it's Natsuki. Like, you know, and even with Natsuki, it's still kind of 2 syllables. Like Natsuki. Actually, no, it's Natsuki. It's Natsuki. Natsuki. See? 2 syllables, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's like, I never felt like Natsuki even really needed a nickname, but I guess you can make the argument that Monica doesn't either, because, actually, no, Monica has 3, because it's Monica. Or Monica. Right? Is Monica 3 syllables?
Monica, yes.
It is 3, yeah. So yeah, Monica could use one because it's 3 syllables. I never felt like Natsuki needed a nickname. It's the same thing with, like, Yuri. Like, I've heard people call her, like, Yu, which, like, it's cute, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, her name is already short.
You.
It's just, it's
Hey, you.
Yeah, and you can't just say you. I was like, because that just sounds weird.
Me?
Me? Hey, you. You? Me? You? You know, like, I'm you. You get out of here. Fucking Narukami. Like, it's just, so yeah, it's like, but again, nicknames, I guess, could also just be a term of endearment, to be fair. Nicknames don't have to be a sense of, don't have to be always it's easier for me to call you this. It's also just a sense of endearment. So, people calling Yuri Yu could just be a way of showing that, you know, they like her.
Yeah.
I do like Yu though. Yu is cute. I feel like I definitely could see. Though Yu is one of those, only Sayori's calling her Yu. Like, I don't see anyone else calling her Yu. Like, Sayori is definitely the only one calling her Yu. Kind of similarly how Sayori is probably the only one calling Monica Mani. Actually, Sayori's like the only one using any of these nicknames. I guess I could see, like, MC saying not. I could see MC saying Mani, I guess, too, to a degree, but it's like, maybe. But I'm like, Sayori's like the only one using any of these nicknames. Yeah, and Sayori has Sayo. I know some people say Bun. I like Sayo better.
Bun.
Yeah, because, I mean, Bun is like I get it, but, like, I don't know. Like, it's like, I understand what you're trying to say, but, like, out of context, I'm like, what the fuck? I remember reading something, and I was like, why did they say bun? I'm like, right, the cinnamon bun, right. Like, out of context, Bun sounds really weird as a nickname.
You only call her that if, like, you're in a relationship with her.
Yeah, that's your cutie nickname. She's my little cinnamon bun.
Zero, when am I getting one of those?
You're a woman.
I'm bitch.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Oh no, if I said you're a woman, that means I'm the fruits MC. Oh no. Actually, that's not true. You're crazy lady.
What?
That's what I say. That's what I say to you a lot, actually.
I think you're stinky.
Yeah, you're crazy lady. Because I remember a lot of time. I'm like, all right, crazy lady.
I think I call you stinky a lot.
You call me stinky a lot. Like, you call me stinky a lot. I'm just like, all right, crazy lady. That's yours, crazy lady. His little nuclear waste.
Well.
Crazy lady and stinky.
Yeah.
Hey, stinky.
This is what a real relationship looks like. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Is the stinky nickname based on fact? No.
I don't know.
Ask Bug. Actually, I don't think Bug smelled me. That's a weird. Don't ask Bug.
I'll know when I go to Texas this year if I do.
That's where I was like, it's like that. I like how that implies that in Texas we were just smelling each other, and I'm like, that's not what was happening. So
Bug just walks up to you. Yeah, no.
Guys, I have confirmation. I mean, we slept in the same bed.
You cheated on me with Bug.
I say we slept in the same bed as everybody. We all took turns.
Gotcha.
What? Hey, yo. Okay, we're getting back on topic of DDLC. Just the homies, bro. It was just the homies. We all had pants on. It was fine.
I hope so.
We wouldn't. Which Dokis would sleep in the same bed as homies? I think all of them would sleep in the same bed as homies. Any pair you want to give, I think, would sleep in the same bed as, like, just friends, if we're talking like that, yeah. I think any of them would. I think Natsuki would be super, like, against it, but then just accept it once she's there. And be like, fine. But, like, I think they'd all do that. That'd be fine. I think they'd all be fine with laying down next to each other. Which one of the girls is the worst gamer, and why is it Yuri? I would be Yuri.
She doesn't play games.
Yeah, because she doesn't play video games, yeah.
She's not interested in video games.
She's not. Yuri's the type of person to be bad, but she's, like, freaking out, and Natsuki's, like, yelling at her. Natsuki's like, get that guy! Get him! And he's like, he's shooting me! Natsuki, what do I do?
She drops the controller. I don't know what
I'm dying!
They look back and she's dead.
She has a game over. She's like really upset. She's like, I've been defeated.
I'm not fit for this hobby.
Natsuki, stop hitting me! You have to block low, Yuri! What does that mean?
She would not play. That's the first and last time she plays a fighting game.
Yuri, to block, you have to hold the back button. There's no back button!
This doesn't look like a keyboard to you?
I don't... Natsuki, it says press any button. Where's the any button? She wouldn't say that.
What's
That's
the button that says any on it?
She wouldn't say that. That's too bad. That's like a Sayori moment. What's the
Where's
any, button?
Found it.
What's the any button? That's a Sayori thing. They said press the any button, but I can't find it. I can imagine Natsuki forcing Yuri to play Dark Souls for her first game. Yeah, and Yuri not even getting past like the first boss. Or Yuri finally does, and then Natsuki's like, well, great, now we got like 12 more. She's like, what? I thought that was it.
This, are you telling me there's more to this?
I thought that was the game. What do you mean there's more? Yuri plays Mario Party, wins by doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, on the other hand, it would be that, yeah. She'd lose she'd lose like every mini game and shit, but she like Monica and Natsuki would like go back and forth in winning mini games. With Sayori probably winning some of them. But somehow Yuri would always just win because like Monica said, she would like get hidden blocks and just like get shit on the board. Yuri would just somehow find a way to win the actual game every time. Like, Monica would win sometimes, but Yuri's innate luck, I think, would just carry her through. like Monica Natsuki would probably win sometimes. Sayori wins on, like, that off chance, and she just, like, takes it. She like, almost cries. It's like, I finally did it! My victory! I think I saw one interesting, question people had, which was, I saw one interesting one, which was definitely going to be a conversation. I think they were like, what's my opinion on people not liking MC? So, I think it's time for us to talk about MC. Oh boy. MC has become a very interesting topic over the years. I remember back in the beginning of DDLCs, like, I think Fandom C. MC was just kind of, I think, no one had much of an opinion of him. I think some people hated him. I think during the infancy, I think some people definitely did hate the guy. And then as time went on, people randomly started to, like, really love him. And now we're at this weird split where now there's like a war. Like, there's like, people are like fighting for him, fighting against him, like, all this over a man with no character. Like, I just don't like, I just don't understand. There's like a whole ass civil war over this man. Like, it's just like my personal opinion of the man, of the guy, if you can even call him that, ayo. But my personal opinion of the main character of Doki Doki Literature Club is that he is serviceable to the story. He has some he has some lines. I said voice lines. I wish he had voice lines. It'd be funny. He has some lines that I think are actually pretty funny. I like that he says, today marks this day I sold my soul to a cupcake. I sold my soul to cupcakes. I think that's cute. I like his lines with, some of the lines he has about the girls I think are pretty snarky and kind of funny. I don't think he's too hard on Sayori, like everyone says he is in the base game. I think that's just the definition of a friendship. Is just literally how he thinks about her. That's always how he thought about her. He says this in the base game. He mentions how that's just kind of how he always thought about her, you know? So, I also think his reaction to Sayori's depression, while not being the best, was realistic. He didn't really know how to react. He's a teenager. He doesn't know how to deal with this shit. So, of course, he feels, like, betrayed and says how, you know, he feels betrayed as her friend that she never told him. When really, he's just kind of saying what he wants to say in the moment of just being in distress. He's just kind of in distraught because everything he's been basically thought to believe about his best friend isn't true. So, you know, he's just kind of in distraught and is just kind of just, you know, saying anything. But obviously he doesn't really mean it. And obviously he does care about her and everything in that kind of situation. Yeah, there's not much else to really say about him though, because as I've mentioned before, in terms of him not being really being a character, I think the main thing that comes from people saying MC is a character or wonder why people say MC isn't a character, I think mainly comes from people not actually having much experience when it comes to visual novel protagonists. Or at least even anime protagonists to a degree. At least dating sim protagonists. Let me change it to that. Because MC's personality, the reason why people say he doesn't really have one is because, well, his personality is one that we've seen before. It's one we've seen time and time again in these other stories. So that's why people say he doesn't really have a character, because, well, he's your standard character. He's a very typical character. Like, you've seen this guy multiple times.
You know him.
You've seen him before, like, everywhere. I was gonna say he's Yuji, but I think Yuji's more... Actually, not Yuji. What's the name of the guy in Toradora? Is it Yuji?
Ryuji.
I was gonna say he's Ryuji, but I think Ryuji actually has more of a personality than he does.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, Ryuji has more of a personality, and he's not really a harem protagonist. So... Yeah, it's like, really, MC, I think it's more so comes from the fact he's not really that interesting. If I had to describe it, I'd say it's the same level of Mario. You know how, like, Mario doesn't really, how people say Mario doesn't have a personality? When it's like, Mario does have a personality, but not exactly interesting. like, it's not exactly much. Like, Mario doesn't have that much of a personality. It's there, but you really ain't finding much. He's as deep as a puddle. That's MC. He has a personality. It's just not that interesting of one. Like, that's just really what it is. Like, MC has a personality. It's just, he's not that interesting of a personality, especially compared to the other 4 characters in the story. Also, to the point where he isn't even a character in any of the other acts. Like, in Act 2, he doesn't say anything because, well, he isn't a character. But yeah, my personal opinion of him, I don't have any strong feelings towards MC, which is funny because everyone's like, but Zero, you voiced MC in Takeover. And it's like, I did, and it was an honor to voice him. I find it funny that I even got that role. But it's like, I feel like I can't have any strong opinions of him. Like, I feel like there isn't much to, again, it's like having strong opinions about Mario. I can't have strong opinions about Mario. It's Mario. Like, I can't hate the guy. I can't really love him either. Like, it's... I don't really know what you want from me here. I can accept not really being much of a character, but the hate is crazy. Yeah, like I said, the hate is crazy to me. It's crazy that people even hate him, because I'm like, what did he do? I was like, he didn't even do anything. And then, like, the excuse they always use is, he didn't know Sayori had depression. It's like, bitch, you didn't know Sayori had depression. It's like, that was the whole point. None of them knew Sayori had depression. She was hiding it. It's like, you only knew she had depression once it was told to you, and then you looked back at the game and said, oh yeah, that's how I could tell. Like, it's just silly. I guess he's kind of sleazy. See, people say he's sleazy, but then I feel like some people forget about the base game, because people are like, oh, he just joins the club to get with girls. But people forget that's not even the reason he joined. He joined because he was guilt-tripped. Originally, he wasn't even going to join at all. He mentions how, I didn't even say I was going to join this club. And then all the girls get sad, and then he's like, oh, man. And then he's like, fine, I'll join. And they're like, yay. And then he's just like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I can use this opportunity to get closer to one of them, I guess. That's what I was like, it's more so of like, it's like, he got forced into this. He's just, if anything, he's just too nice. Hey, if anything, that's the weird part you never thought we'd all figure out. The one thing we figured out is that MC is just too nice. That's really what we figured out. Because, I mean, hey, he joined a literature club for a bunch of girls, and he doesn't even, for a bunch of girls who wanted him to join, and he doesn't even know a shit about literature. And he even makes an effort. He makes poems. Sure, they suck, but he still tries. Like, it's just... it's like, he sucks, but he tries. Like, if anything, MC, funnily enough, is actually a pretty nice guy. Does Sonic have a character? Sonic does have a character. It's mainly because Sonic stories are actually character-driven more than, like, Mario stories. So that's typically why. Mario not having a character wasn't like an insult, by the way, either, before people think it is. It was just the truth, because even Miyamoto doesn't focus on that. Mario isn't focused on his character. Like, that's not the focus of the Mario stories. They're not even really that story-driven, and if they are driven by a story, it's not Mario who's driving it with his personality. Like, it's just being driven by the characters and the plot, and Mario's just like, time to be Mario. Wahoo! You know? Unlike Mario, the MC can't even BLJ. That is true. Can't even BLJ. What are we even talking about? Bad. Bad character. Can't even BLJ. I fucking hate that guy. Mario's just there to be Mario. Mario is there to be the main character, yes. That's why I compared MC to Mario, because I feel like they both serve their purposes. Like, you can like little things they do, but at the end of the day, they're quite literally there to be the main character. That's like, to me, people who love MC and people who hate MC, I think, is very odd. But I will say, if I had to pick which one's a little weirder, I will say the hate is a little more weirder than the love. Because I feel like he has more to love than to hate, in my opinion. But I mean, it's whatever. You know? I think someone said what I feel about the hate Monica gets. I feel like Monica's definitely gotten a lot less hate over the time, and I think, yeah, you even mentioned, I believe it's been decreased, though. She's definitely got a lot less hate over the time, so I don't really have a comment on it, per se. I don't know, some of the hate I feel like Monica gets does feel unfair at times, because I know people are like, because it's just kind of people reiterating the same mistake that Monica herself admits to, which I just find funny. Like, there's just like, yeah, Monica admitting, it's like, yeah, she knows that. Like, she knows that that was wrong. Like, it's like, the girls are just as real as she is. And it's like, yeah, she knows. Like, that's the lesson she learns. It's called going through a character arc. like being upset and being, like, hating a character for learning an arc is just kind of funny to me. Like, or I think it's funny when they're like, she went and deleted the characters, and then, like, their favorite will be, like, Sayori, who also did the exact same thing in Act 4. And it's just like, oh, that's a little unfair, huh? How dare Monica have character flaws? How dare she? Like, yeah, it's like, I always love when they conveniently always forget about Sayori doing the exact same thing. Like, it's always, oh, look at what Monica did. It's such a terrible thing. Oh, forget Act 4, though. That didn't happen. Stop it. Don't look over there. And she did it quicker. I will say, the one thing I do find funny is the ones who go too far in the other direction when it comes to Monica. And I'm talking, like, the ones who say shit like, Monica did nothing wrong. And I'm just like, all right, well, now you're just, like, totally you're missing the entire point of the character. Like, Monica herself says that what she did was wrong. Like, she has to do something wrong for her arc to actually be full. like those people, that's where it's a little too far. It's like, no, she did do something wrong. The part that we're understanding is that just because you can understand why someone did something doesn't mean what they did wasn't wrong. Like, Monica's has a believable reason for what she's doing is more so the thing. You know, like, Monica's, yeah, what Monica does is believable as to why she does it, and it isn't a sense of, oh, well, I understand why she did it, so what she did was okay. Like, no, what she did wasn't okay, but you can see why she did it. You know, it's a villain that is not, it's what makes her not a villain and what makes her the antagonist of the story. You know, it's the difference between being a villain and an antagonist. Doing something you think is right, and, you know, a villain who is doing wrong things and knows that what they're doing is wrong. That's a villain. An antagonist is someone who is doing something they think is right, but really it ends up being wrong. A similar character who is an antagonist and not really a villain per se could be sympathetic villain. Is sympathetic antagonist is what Monica follows under. I was gonna say Flowey from Undertale, but it's like not really the same because Flowey does know what he's doing is wrong. You have to teach Flowey not to do that. So it's like Flowey's a little different because like he's evil and he knows what he's doing is evil, but you more so change his heart about what he's doing. And then he's like, ah, you're right, I'm sorry. You know, like Flowey's a little different, but it's a little... Flowey's still a sympathetic villain though, because you do feel bad for Flowey. So Monica and Flowey are similar in the sense of being sympathetic villains, but they're not the same in the sense of, you know, how their actual things play out, I guess, per se. Like, Flowey's a bit comparable, but not fully, I would say. Like, there's definitely a lot of comparisons there, but Flowey was definitely doing things and having enjoyment out of being rude to people. You know, like, hurting them and everything. I like Etika's opinion, which was essentially, this is crazy, but Monica's cool. Etika was always right. Monica was cool. You knew.
Monica's cool.
To be fair, character did nothing wrong is a popular meme. Oh yeah, it definitely is. The ones who say, I've said it as a meme a few times. I've said Monica did nothing wrong. It's just some people are actually like unironic about it, and it's like, uh-oh. But yeah, no, it's like, the meme of it is funny, but some people actually do take it seriously, and they actually will legitimately say that, and I'm like, oh no. No, that's not true. How does it feel? Man, speaking the truth. I always speak the truth. And by that I mean I just say what's on my mind. Which Doki's the most delusional? I feel like it'd be Sayori. Because, like, I'm sorry. She brings a boy to the club filled with all of her friends, and then she's suddenly shocked that he ends up with one of them and not her. Like, I'm sorry, Sayori, that's some delusion. Like, that is some delusion to really sit here and think, like, I'm gonna invite him to the club, and then he'll like me, and not like any of my 3 other girlfriends who are also single. Oh no! It's like, come on, Sayori. To be fair, Monica's trying to date her world's equivalent of God. Yeah, but that could happen. I still think Sayori's more delusional. I still think Monica had a better chance with God than Sayori did at fooling herself into thinking that her friend, who always saw her as just a friend, is going to like her and not ending up with the 3 other girls in her club that are single. Sayori thought she was the main character. Like I was saying, she really did. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I know you are, you little advocate. Single and cute. Yeah, incredibly cute. The club is filled with incredibly cute girls.
Okay.
I saw someone say...
I'm a go. This is gonna be my last paid question.
Oh my god, DJ's last
Which
paid
one
question.
of them would get so mad at Mario Party and will say insults that don't mean anything but are funny when they say it? Anyways, bye y'all bleed purple.
You said which one of them would get so mad at Mario Party and say insults that don't mean anything but are funny when they say it? Natsuki. And I like to think it's because like she's not allowed to swear. So she just has to say nonsensical things, and she's just saying things while being really mad. But I also think it'd be really funny if we had, I also think it'd be really funny for Sayori. Because I feel like Sayori would also just say like, because Sayori would try to be mean and try to say like really mean stuff, but just it comes out as like, Sayori, what the fuck are you talking about? She'd be like, Natsuki, you're such a elbow. Natsuki's like, what? What are you talking about? I hate you. Sayori's the type of person to like call you like an elbow and then apologize for it. I'm sorry, Natsuki. I shouldn't have called you an elbow. Sayori, I don't even know what that means. Like, it's just like, I think it'd be funny. I was thinking with the 500 bits headlocker, you just had 500 bits say Natsuki. Although someone said, how do you motivate yourself to make DDLC stuff? Well, you see, it's quite simple, actually. I motivate myself because I have this thing called brain rot. And,
He cannot get enough.
and by that, I quite literally mean DDLC is one of the few things in my head that is constantly in my head. Like, it goes DDLC, Sonic the Hedgehog, Dragon Ball, and One Piece.
This is how I can tell that Zero doesn't have ADHD, is because he's been hyperfixated on DDLC for several years. That never happens to people with ADHD.
That's what I was like. Those are like the 4 things that like will cycle in my head like all the time, and I can like constantly talk about them forever. Like they're always there. Like I just be sitting there and I could just be like, man, what would each girl's favorite Pokemon starter be? And I'll be like, man, I think Sayori would really like Squirtle. Like, you know, like I'll just be sitting there doing shit like that. Or like, I'll see like certain things and I'll be like, damn, what if like Monica was in that outfit? Or I'd be like, damn, like what if this? Like, you know, just be like little things like that. Sayori is Mudkip. You take that back. The Squirtle thing wasn't an actual answer. I swear. I swear the Squirtle thing was an actual answer. I will say Sayori definitely is picking a water type, though. I think I said Sobble in a video once, because I think Sword and Shield just came out and Sobble looked funny. But if we're actually saying, like, which starter Sayori would go with, it probably would be Mudkip. Mudkip does look like a dumb enough Pokemon for Sayori to pick. It's either Sobble or Poplio. I can see Sayori going to Poplio. Give us your actual answers now. I am. Yeah, Sayori thinks the fire types look too mean.
What?
The grass types are too boring.
What's wrong with her?
She'd be like, that's too mean. It's like, then what about the grass types? Too boring.
Too boring.
Yuri would pick the grass types. Yuri would pick Snivy, 100%. Yuri's picking Snivy.
Yeah.
I will have no arguments about that. Yuri's picking Snivy, like 100%. Yuri's picking Snivy. Natsuki would have to pick a fire type, and it'd have to be like a really like tough looking fire type. I'm thinking like either Charmander. I could see Chimchar actually for Natsuki too.
No.
Oh no, Litten! Oh, Litten would be so good for Natsuki.
Litten, she would pick.
It's a cat.
Tepig.
It's a cat. Fire. Litten. It has
Litten
to be
or
Litten.
Tepig.
Litten will definitely be Natsuki's. It's a cat. It's fire. It has to be Litten. Monica's a hard one.
She'd pick.
Froakie.
Uh,
Because Froakie is the most competitively viable out of all of the starters as Final Evolutions.
every single one?
I think Greninja is the best Final Evolution, I think, in terms of, like, stats and everything.
Really?
I think Greninja is the strongest. That's not true? Is it not true? Blaziken? Oh, true, Blaziken. Is Blaziken still good without Megas, though? If he's still good with it, because, like, if we're talking Megas, she might pick Blaziken then. But if we're without, because I don't know if Blaziken's still broken without, Mega. Because all Mega Blaziken was what made him so good. Yeah, Speed Boost. Okay, so he's still broken with Speed Boost. Okay, well then it's either Greninja or Blaziken. I don't know which one she would pick. Oh yeah, Blaziken is more broken than Greninja then, because Blaziken's in Ubers, I'm pretty sure, because of that. And I think Greninja isn't. I think Greninja actually got knocked out of Ubers even with Battle Bond. But I think Blaziken is still in Ubers with Speed Boost. Okay, if it's still Blaziken with Ubers and Speed Boost, then Blaziken's still like, yeah, okay. Yeah, because Greninja, I'm pretty sure, is like under, I think he got put into OU with that. So yeah, she'd probably pick Blaziken then. She'd pick Torchic. Monica would pick Torchic because Blaziken is the best one. Well, Pokemon would MC pick? Someone said Bulbasaur. You'd have to pick the most boring one, so yeah, probably Bulbasaur. Boba. He would pick Bulbasaur. Yeah, it's so obviously Bulbasaur. Yeah, he'd pick Bulbasaur. Boba. Hey guys, wait for me. Boba. His Bulbasaur's coming. They're like, oh. Or Eevee. Oh my god, true. Let's Go Eevee. So you'd have to play Let's Go Eevee because you can't get Eevee as a starter. You can only get him in Let's Go Eevee because Yellow has Pikachu. He'd probably pick Pikachu if we're using Pokemon Yellow. But yeah, but they had to try to give a better answer to your DDLC thing. Like I said, I just make DDLC content because to me it is still like I don't really have to motivate myself. I do have to motivate myself when it comes to like script writing for Vigilante sometimes, but that's usually just because I have to like know what I'm writing and I want to make sure I like it. So I think that's why, you know, that comes from some motivation because I definitely have to actually, you know, really think about it and really sit down and stuff like that. But when it just comes to motivation for just DDLC stuff in general, I don't really need much motivation because I typically am always thinking about DDLC stuff and always thinking about new ways to deliver DDLC content that isn't just like playing mods. Like I've definitely always like toyed around with ideas and stuff. Like I think that's why I made the girls in Soul Calibur. Got to make a Tekken video soon with with the girls in there because I already made Monica as I posted on Twitter. You know, it's like I've always been trying to play around with that. One thing I've definitely been toying around with an idea that I think I'm probably going to try to still keep a secret. I'll try to keep that a secret for now and see whenever I pull it out. But it's definitely going to be an ambitious one. By ambitious, I mean not too ambitious, but I think it'll be fun. Be funny. I will definitely need some... all I can really say is it will consist of me and some of my friends that I pull selectively. Least favorite DDLC headcanon? You know, weirdly, my least favorite DDLC headcanon, this might be like a random one, but I think my least favorite DDLC headcanon is actually the one that people say that Monica told Sayori to kill herself in the base game.
Yeah, that definitely did not happen.
Like when because people mention like you know, Monica whispers to Sayori in the base game. She says, "I'll go talk to her," and a lot of people headcanon like that they think that she like implied for her to commit suicide, and I don't like that headcanon mainly because it doesn't make sense. Because
it doesn't. Monica
herself even says that she never considered Sayori would kill herself, so it's kind of weird that people would even think that Monica would tell Sayori or even imply for Sayori to commit suicide when Monica didn't even know that she was even that was even an option. Like, I really think what she told her was just that MC was more interested in the other girls. And I think she definitely did it in a way where, I think the other thing to continue on the headcanon is that people act as if Monica, like, masked off there when she talked to Sayori. I think she kept the mask on because I feel like she would have to. Like, I think she just kind of was like, in my opinion, I think she kind of beat around the bush and was like, you know, Sayori, he might not like you back. He might just kind of like the other girl. Like, you know, he might just really like the other girls or something. And I think she might have told her to kind of like, you should try to step away, I think. Because Sayori says, Monica was right. I should just, and I think what she was trying to say there was like, I should just back off. Like, I think Monica was kind of trying to imply that she should, stop pursuing him and that he wasn't really interested. I think that was always my implication from that scene.
I used to think that she was saying some shit like that too, but I don't think she was.
Yeah, like that's like, because like I said, it wouldn't make sense for Monica to be like, I don't know, Sayori, I think you should just kill yourself, and then be like,
I think you should just kill yourself.
I never intended for her to kill herself. Like what?
Yeah,
like, that
her saying that would not make any sense.
I never thought you would actually do it. Like, you know, I just said it. Monica, the person to tell somebody to kill themselves, and then they actually do it, and they're like, oh no.
Oh no, I didn't mean it. That's not like classic internet.
Yeah, that's what Natsuki would do. Natsuki definitely says KYS to that one.
Typing KYS to people, and then it turns out they actually
KYS
died.
to like the other club members,
like,
and Sayori gets upset. Sayori's like, Natsuki, stop saying that!
Stop saying that! That's
it's
not
mean.
good. What if they do it? What did they do it? And now it's your fault.
Monika's like, Natsuki. It's like, what? I don't actually mean it.
Very mean.
It's like, Natsuki, stop saying that. That's mean. Natsuki's a fiend. Do not check her Reddit. Natsuki definitely has a Reddit account.
Yeah.
Yeah, which Doki has
She
the most
replies
Reddit
to, like,
karma,
all
and
the
why?
Reddit
Is it
posts.
Natsuki? Yeah, Natsuki's an internet gremlin.
She is.
If Natsuki played Overwatch, how many slurs would she yell out? I don't think Natsuki would yell out slurs. I don't think she's that much of a gremlin. She's just like a semi-gremlin. She's not like a full-on like toxic piece of waste, right? Like she's not yelling slurs at people. I think Natsuki's just like half gremlin. I think she's just more so absorbed by the internet and very much into it. She's definitely the person to like yell at people. She's not telling anybody slurs on the. She's not like yelling at anybody on the mic. She's typing to them. She's like typing.
Yeah,
saying, like,
she
"You
would
fucking
never do that on the
stupid.
mic.
You're fucking dumb."
Once she gets on the mic, she'll be like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
It goes Natsuki, Yuri, for Reddit karma. It goes Natsuki, Yuri, Monika, and Sayori got confused about how tags versus subreddits worked. Yeah. Yuri uses subreddits to like talk about like her very niche things, and Monika uses Reddit for questions. Every Reddit post Monika has made is a question. Like, there is no way in hell Monika uses Reddit regularly. It is definitely like a question, or that's if she even makes a post. She rarely is making posts on Reddit, and if it's a post, it's a question about something. Monika uses Reddit like how your dad uses Reddit. Yeah, she uses Reddit like how your parents use it. Yeah. How do I fix this? Where does this go?
That's how I use Reddit.
Yeah, see?
I just look up questions because of stuff that I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because Monika's the basic Redditor. Like, she's not an actual Redditor. She just uses Reddit for information.
Yeah.
Like Natsuki lives on there. Yuri will check it with like her little niche subreddits for her little niche interests. Natsuki's just like gremlinizing on there. Monika's canonically our Twitter e-girl. That is true. She is the one. Yeah, she uses Twitter more often, and yeah. The way the way Monika tweets is hilarious because it plays into this. We should have known she was gonna act that way in the side stories. Honestly, we should have known from her Twitter because she just acts like a regular teenage girl. I remember the side stories threw so much people for a loop because I remember, except it did for me slightly, but I always sort of thought she talked like that. Because I remember like people make like mods or they make Monika talk like an encyclopedia. Like they make Monika seem like really smart and like really fucking like, you know. And I'm like, Monika's smart, but she's like, people are thinking like she's like amazingly smart. She's like super eloquent and everything. And then you play the side stories and she's like, I write something down, and I'm like, that's kind of stupid. And Monika's using the words like and she's like, so I was like, Monika's just a standard teenage girl, guys. Yuri's obviously the encyclopedia. Yeah, that's obviously Yuri. Monika's like, if you took An Takamaki from Persona 5 and Makoto Nijima and put them together. Then you have Monika. You take Makoto and An from Persona 5 and you put them together, then you have Monika. And then it's like, fucking... Would she use Gen Alpha slang? No. I feel like the DDLC girls aren't even like around Gen Alpha anymore. Around the time Gen Alpha would happen, they'd be like in fucking. I guess they're stuck as 18-year-olds. I feel like but considering when they started, they wouldn't even really like Gen Alpha slang. Considering when the game started, even if they're stuck as 18. The girls are Zoomers, but no one really uses slang from that either. Yeah, so I was like... Natsuki probably knows. Yeah, Natsuki knows what it means. She's just not saying it. and all that jazz. Let me scroll up, get some more of these. Which Doki was the most saddened by MatPat's retirement? That is a weird question. I mean, probably what? We keep saying Natsuki's the internet gremlin. Probably would be Natsuki, no? Natsuki's probably the one who probably would watch something like Game Theory. Maybe Sayori. Sayori would probably watch it just to like... Sayori definitely watched Game Theory to try to have like interesting conversations about with MC because she knows that he's into video games, and so she just like spouts like Game Theory stuff that she watched. And like that's like the only knowledge that she has on those things. She'll be like, "Hey, did you know that in this? Did you know you're playing Majora's Mask? Did you know that Link is dead?"
Did you know?
And MC's just like, "Sayori, that's not confirmed." Sayori, the creators came out and said that wasn't true. He's like, "What? Aw." But this video said it was true.
Don't believe everything you see on the internet, and that's when she learned.
Yeah, but even with Natsuki, it's like none of the girls strike me as Game Theory fans, like Bug says. Yeah, it's like I said, it's like the closest you get is Natsuki, and even then, I don't think she's really watching it. Did Sayori watch How Large is Luigi's Dick? Man, I hope she did. That's some quality content for MatPat. That was the good days of Game Theory. The Game Theory good days. What? Back in the golden age. The golden age of Game Theory. Gonna miss MatPat though. Good guy, good guy. Even if I didn't really watch Game Theories all too much. I do like MatPat as a person, though. I think MatPat's one of those people I definitely think loved more as a person than, like, actually had any connection to his content. Every time I saw MatPat as, like, at, like, an event or something, like, you know, like, in, like, a little video, like, him, like, hosting some sort of event, I always was happy to see him. I was like, oh, it's MatPat. MatPat was great. Like, when he's in that Mr. Beast video that one time. I don't remember which Mr. Beast video he was in. I remember there was like one with like a bunch of YouTubers, and I was like, oh my god, MatPat! I was like rooting for him to win. I was like, come on, MatPat! Gotta win this! He's too nice to hate. Yeah, I never understood them. The MatPat hate on Twitter always felt forced. Like, I don't know how you could hate that man. MatPat is like the equivalent of your dad if he talked about video games.
He really is.
Like, everything MatPat did is like a secondhand embarrassment from your father, but like, you can't even be mad because you're like, look at him, he's having a good time.
Yeah.
Like, I just simultaneously whipped and nay-nayed!
Yeah.
It's like how I never really liked any of his DDLC theories, but, you know, I still like MatPat as a person. He simultaneously whipped and nay-nayed. He did. He'll always be the man who simultaneously whipped and nay-nayed. And what? Wasn't he Condom Man? What was that tweet? Another human condom. Where he someone found a tweet where he tweeted, I am a human condom. Someone said, goodbye, human condom.
Goodbye, YouTube condom.
Goodbye, human condom.
What the heck?
Oh yeah, among a bunch of hungry middle-aged women. Old MatPat tweets are amazing. I love old MatPat tweets, man. So good. Oh yeah, out of context MatPat. All right, I'm sorry, we need to talk about DDLC, but I just want to mention fucking out of context MatPat. Like the fucking videos where he goes super deep into something and then he's just like Freddy Fazbear.
Freddy Fazbear. And we're like, oh well,
yeah,
oh,
like,
okay.
He'll just be like talking like some deep thing, and there's just William Afton, and it's like, oh,
Epic.
It's just like, oh, but yeah, back to, but yeah, like I said, I can kind of talk about DDLC. I mentioned DDLC in there. I talked about I didn't really like his DDLC theories, but you know, I'm still I'm still glad he liked DDLC, you know. Yeah, you got something. Man, I remember the days of oh, I know I could talk about. Actually, I was gonna say, remember the days where everybody was playing DDLC on their channels, and then I was like, I remember when Markiplier played DDLC, and I remember a lot of people were like being detectives and were trying to be like, guys, I don't think he enjoyed the game.
Yeah, everyone liked to say that they knew what he felt just by
yeah, everyone was trying to like Markiplier didn't like the game or anything, and were like trying to say his thoughts on the game, and then later when he finished it, he was like, I liked that game, that was good.
Yeah.
Like,
I swear that some people were like, he's lying.
Yeah, people were like, it was like, this shit was crazy. They're like, Markiplier doesn't like the game, and then when he finished it, he was like, I liked that game, that was a good game.
I liked that game, that was a good game.
And he's like, no, doesn't. Thoughts on that art series about the prototypes of the girls? Oh, someone like redrawing the prototypes of the girls? I didn't know it was like an art series. What is it? Is it just like... Because I just thought someone was just like redrawing just the prototype DDLC characters. They're just like in their blue little outfits. Oh, you mean this guy from like from Feels, the like art that he's making of it. Yeah. Oh, man, it looks cute. I like how he draws them. They're cute. Oh, wait, this person like draws a lot of the DDLC girls, like different art styles. Oh, it's adorable. Like, I'm following them. It's cute. The DDLC prototypes are always really funny. I'm really glad we got what we got now because, yeah, holy shit, they would not be as that popular. If they looked how Dan had them before, obviously they weren't gonna look like that because they were just made in a template. You know, they're like a little free visual novel. Holy shit, do they look like boring besides like Monica? Someone commissioned the prototypes, actually. That's cute. I can't say I like the prototypes more than I do, you know, now. I feel like I can't like any redesign, I think, of the DDLC girls more than the way they look now. Like, I feel like I can't really look at any drastic changes and be like, oh, yeah, this is how I think. This is a better looking Monica. Because I'm always just like, that's not Monica. Ew. Change her back. What did you do? Oh, like anytime, like I say, change her back. What is this? Who is this person? Like, I feel like I need the redesigns. I'm like, that's not Sayori. You put Sayori back. But yeah, no, this art's cute though. That's cute. You took her swag. You took her swag. Give me back her swag. Give it back. This is my third and final time asking this question. I've heard of For the Longest Time. It's underrated. I have not heard of it. I don't even know what it is. Is it like a mod? I don't. Like, I don't follow the. I'm not like constantly following things. I was to say, yeah. At first when you said that, I was like, I'm assuming you're not talking about the Billy Joel song. Whoa. For the longest time. Oh, it's a fan fiction. Okay, I don't do that either. I don't really. The DDLC content I absorb is very minimal. Like, I don't really actually look up DDLC a lot. Like, when it comes to like fan fictions and YouTube videos, I don't really do a lot of that stuff. I don't know. It might be because It might be because I just kind of do my own, like I said, it's because I do my own DDLC content so much to feed my brain rot. That's probably why I don't really absorb a lot of other DDLC content to quell it. It's like I just kind of quell my brain rot myself. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. That's not the same song. Natsuki, that's a different song. Zero, would you still love the Dokis if they were worms? I would. Doki Doki Worm Club. Doki Doki Worm Club. Do 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 do. Oh, worm. Hold on, I feel like there was another. From Charlotte Law to Minecraft. I thought it was someone talking about my tweet, or like from Minecraft to Kingdom Hearts. Are you talking about the MatPat thing? From Charlotte Law to Minecraft. Yeah. It's like, I think we're getting close to probably wrapping it up here soon, but I do probably want to end it off on like one actual discussion about something. If there's one thing you would change in the base game, what would it be? So I always had an answer for this. And my answer was always, it's always a little mixed, because one thing I always say is, I wish we had more days before the twist, but then on the other hand, I feel like that's what makes the twist work, because it's like, what makes the twist work is obviously that it happens right when you think everything is normal in this game. Like, I feel like the twist, I feel like in my opinion, DDLC is like the perfect time frame of how long it takes to be, how long it stays normal. like it goes from day 1 to day 2 to day 3. You're just, you're really, because I feel like if DDLC did it at like the end of day 2, you would have just already been like, oh, there's the thing that I was waiting for. Like DDLC does it at the perfect time, right when your guard is down and you're thinking everything's fine in this game, and you're like, wow, I'm really preparing for the festival and everything, huh? And you think everything's normal, and then it's like, bam, we get you. And you're like, oh, what the fuck? So as much as I would say I wanted more like normal days with the girls, I know why we can't have that. So it's definitely something where I'm like, damn it, you got me. I don't know. What would I add to the base game? I guess more sprites for the girls, I guess. I think I'd like more poses for some of the girls, because Sayori doesn't really have like any dynamic poses at all in the game. She has like one, which is, she makes a little house, with her fingers, but other than that pose, she doesn't have many, which obviously is because she dies so quickly. But, I just wish that, she had more dynamic ones. Same with like Yuri. Yuri barely even moves her hands. She just like puts them. Every girl has like a move hands up, and then that's it. I don't know. I wish they had a little bit of more. I wish Natsuki kept her little pose that was in the beta. I liked that pose. That pose was cute. Poses for Monica in Act 3. See, I think I like that Monica has no poses in Act 3, because I think that's what makes it so unsettling. Because she's just looking straight into your eyes, I think not Monica having no poses, I think would work. I wish Natsuki had an actual pout. Honestly, yes, that was another thing. I want full tsundere. I want Natsuki to go full on tsundere. They should have made her fucking full on pout. Her pout isn't pouty enough. Does the Monica joke change for the Japanese translation? I have been wondering this question for so long, and I've gotten no answers.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm about to buy Japanese DDLC Plus just to see.
I was about to buy. Can't you just change the language on DDLC Plus?
I don't think you can do that. I don't think the game asks you. And also, I can't read Japanese.
That's true.
I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah. I don't know why you would buy a Japanese copy anyway.
Japanese bros,
You
we
wouldn't
need
know.
answers. That's why I was like, I need answers from Japanese. Can you not Google it? I did. I never found a result.
Japanese people hate us. They don't care.
I was like, just ask Dan. Let me just call him up real quick. I asked him once, and he did one of those AMAs on Reddit. I asked, and my question didn't get picked. It's so upsetting. One of these days. We probably know, or like the answer's definitely out there. Dan has definitely given the answer. I need to know, Dan. I need to know.
You gotta go to like a thing that Dan goes to just to ask him.
Sprite variant where she points angrily towards you. Oh my god, yeah, Natsuki needs more tsundere sprite variants, yes. Like, they got the hands on the hips and the crossed arms, but there needs to be one where she points at you.
They had that one head that they never used.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Cloudy.
And I was like, I wish they used that, because she, like, does the little, she's, like, looking to the left. I was like, because, like, the fact that she's a Soon and she doesn't do the pointing thing, where it's like, shut up, you idiot! That's, like, such a Soon thing, where they point at you.
Yeah.
Listen here, loser.
Listen here,
and
idiot.
you're like, loser?
Oh,
yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like overall though, yeah, it's like, I think those are changes. I would probably it'd be like sprite changes. I'd want like more sprite additions because I like how the story goes. I like how everything. I think like everything kind of goes in perfectly. Monica's little message at the credits is cute. Hi, it's me. Even if I do feel like her voice is a little too high than how I always imagine Monica. But I mean, it's still cute that she makes a little. She's still cute. She plays her reality. Baka. Actually, can we talk about that? Actually, let me talk about that before we end here. So, what's everyone's fascination with making Natsuki say Baka, despite the fact that she doesn't? Like, I know why.
They think she does.
Yeah, I know why everyone does this, but like, it's like, what's the fascination with the fact that she never actually says it? Like, that's the whole point. She's supposed to say dummy. Like, I understand everyone's like, well, Baka's the anime thing. And it's like, yeah, but she never says that. Like, DDLC never goes that far into anime territory. If we're going far enough to Renatsuki saying Baka, they need to be using Japanese honorifics then. They be going in fucking... They don't even have last names! Baka makes me reel in embarrassment when I hear it. It kind of makes me a little secondhand embarrassed too when I hear people make Natsuki say Baka. Because I'm like, just make her say dummy. Plus, I don't know, there's a charm to the fact that Natsuki says dummy instead of Baka. Because like I said, Baka comes off... It's because Baka kind of comes off as forced. Because like I said, we know she doesn't do that. So, in a way, it comes off as kind of forced when I hear people like make her say Baka. Because I'm like, she just says, just make her say dummy. You dummy. You big dummy. Stupid. Moron. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just, like I said, obviously it's a little nitpick of mine, because I'm just like, she doesn't say that. Make a Natsuki be all like, Bakanaya! I'm getting all mad. Anyway, I think now that'll do it. We have sat here and discussed DDLC for about 2 hours.
Wow.
But this was fun, though. This was a fun little thing. I've always wanted to do this, like I said in the beginning of the stream. I always wanted to sit here and just kind of have like a DDLC discussion with chat, just like an open DDLC discussion. Because, I don't know, I've always like done these like after we played a mod and we never had enough time for me to really sit here and delve deep into talking about anything. Because I'd always be tired and be like, alright guys, I'm leaving. So, this was a nice little fun session of talking. It's like the Z-Cast, except it's only me and Monica, and we talk about Doki Doki Literature Club. We might do this again sometime, honestly, depending on how much, because I mean, I had fun with it, and it seems like you guys had fun with it, so this was a nice little time. I'll probably do this again at some time in the future. Can't really guarantee when, but probably at some point. But, yeah. That is it. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Zero. Peace.